Happy America Day, everybody.
America Day.
America Day. Bald eagle screaming everywhere.
That's right.
Engines,
carrying nuclear bombs.
Fuel-injected V8s. Screaming wild.
Yeah. I want carbureted V8s. Sorry.
You
My old man's coming out.
We can do carbureted V8s. Do fuel-injected, too. We'll do both. We're not going to discriminate too much.
They're both good.
Just as long as you don't have DEF on your diesel.
That's right. Moon juice.
Yeah, moon juice, government juice, whatever you want to call it. Welcome to another episode of The Armchair Crew Chief. My name is Jordan. I am joined by my co-host, Josh.
Howdy, everybody.
And we are here.
We are here.
On 4th of July. Sorry, I'm typing
in
something.
The Kaufman Logistics Studio today.
Yeah, the outside edition of it.
Our daytime studio.
The daytime studio. What did one? We're gonna go. I had. This is why I was thinking about this. What did one flag say to the other flag?
I don't know.
Nothing. It just waved. Why did the duck say bang?
I don't know.
Because he was a firecracker.
Firecracker. Not as good as the first one.
No. And then what do the colonists wear to the Boston Tea Party?
No what?
T-shirts.
That first one's still the best.
Yeah, that one was good. And then
he just went.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the best one on this little list here. Last one. What is the best food to eat on 4th of July? A firecracker dog. It'll blow your mind.
Literally.
Oh man, today is the day that most people will go in, or some people will go in with 10 digits and come out with less than 10 digits.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Pierre-Paul it.
Yep.
So, you know.
Be safe out there.
Yeah, don't do anything stupid. Don't drink too much beer.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
I don't know. I can't say that because I'd want to go out there and get some tannerite and blow something up with tannerite. So
I've been a part of it once. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, one of these days I'll do that. We used to do stupid stuff. Back in one of the elections, I wasn't privy to this. This was a buddy of mine and friend. They doused a competitor election sign they found in gasoline and like lit it on fire and shot it.
Gas is dangerous.
Yeah, it is.
It can get you. It'll sneak up on you.
That it is.
People don't realize it's the fumes, not the liquid.
Yeah. That's why I would never. I'd always go to stuff with my cousin. He was the retired full-time firefighter. So him and his buddies would do the stuff. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna let you guys do it.
Know, I know a lot better as to what to do, and I've never used gas. Diesel.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Is way safer.
Right.
Gas is just volatile. The fumes will just light.
Right.
You get the air mixture right, and it's so much heat, so much quick.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's great for inside engines, but not for outside fires. They make stickers.
Put it on the gas tanks. Good for inside, not for outside. Yeah. Just leave it like that.
Yeah. Inside only.
Inside only. Oh, man. All right.
Interesting weekend.
Very interesting weekend.
Couple different tracks here.
Yeah, 2 different tracks. We were at Limerock for ARCA and for trucks, and then the black hole that is called Echo Park Speedway,
Atlanta Speedway,
aka Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's never. I overheard somebody saying that. They're like, it's always going to be Atlanta Motor Speedway. Whatever you say, people. It's like, you know. We don't have too many around. Like I'll give a good example. This is Houston, the major airport in there. Everybody's like, "Oh, I'm flying in the George Bush Intercontinental." It's Intercontinental. Yeah, it's always been Intercontinental until like I think 98, 99. Yeah.
I feel like you have to have some kind of benchmark to follow a name change. Like when they reconfigured the track. That would have been a great opportunity to rename it. But it's been 2 years or so since they reconfigured it, and it's like it's a little late. People don't have the muscle memory to go, oh, it's a different name now. Like it's when you change something dramatically, then it's easier to remember the name change. But when you just decide it's called something differently, it's
that's like
Clipper Magazine Stadium.
The Clipper Magazine Stadium, Penn Medicine Park now, the PMP. Another good one is Mile High Stadium.
Yeah.
It's Sports Authority Field at Mile High Stadium.
Okay.
Or maybe it's not Sports
Colorado.
Yeah, that's Denver. Where the I almost called them the Donkeys. The Broncos play. It's a thing. It's not called Sports Authority Field anymore because Sports Authority is defunct.
Yeah.
But
too much on advertising apparently.
Probably.
But yeah, it's just nothing memorable to make Atlanta not Atlanta.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
You just decided something different. And even on the broadcast, I heard them talking about, they didn't say Atlanta Motor Speedway, but they said, like where they would typically say, at such and such racetrack, they're like, here at Atlanta. It's like, okay,
and it's not even, I guess you could argue it's like us being Philly Metro. It's Atlanta Metro because it's south of the city.
Yeah.
Like, that drives me nuts, too. It's like Richmond, you're in Richmond. Martinsville, you're just a little bit south. Like, you're still in Martinsville.
Yeah.
Atlanta, you're not in Atlanta. Texas Motor Speedway, I guess that works because, whatever. If they want to call Circuit of the Americas something with Austin, that works because you're right next to the airport.
Yeah.
But the call, I don't know. I don't like
stretching,
that.
Like calling yourself something.
Right.
Like even locally, like the Parksburg Walmart.
Right.
Like, for the town size, it's more than a town length away from the town.
Right, yeah.
And they still call it Parksburg. It's like, okay, like I understand that that's your mailing address, but it's not really.
Right, yeah, exactly.
What else do you call it, I guess? Like, I don't know. It's difficult, but
that's like I'm gonna call I'm gonna call everybody out when they're like, you say, oh yeah, I'm from Louisiana. They're like, oh, New Orleans, it's great. It's like New Orleans is one little dot at the tip of the boot where your toes go in Louisiana, and it gives Louisiana a bad rep too. Mm-hmm. So
the rest of it's just a bunch of dudes with 22s and horseshoes and shooting alligators.
Not just alligators. You got to go get them. The Nutra. Shoot them. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see. Shoot them, Jacob. Shoot them. Shoot them. Yeah, you got to get the Nutras because you get $1 per tail for the Nutra rats because they're an invasive species.
Nice.
And what's also crazy is the alligator gar fish that are in there. I remember doing a title study. Total sidetrack. Title study in college, and we're doing this little bayou for all you Northerners, crick.
Yeah,
going through. And so we're dropping a beta bottle, which has got like silicone in between, and then the two ends come up, and then you drop a weight on it, and it closes to collect the water. So we're sitting there looking over. This is like 2:00 in the morning, and my buddy and I are doing it. Like, what is that? This big, huge, long thing. He's like, oh, that's an alligator gar. I'm like, okay, as long as it's not a gator, I'm okay. But yeah, it's kind of trippy to see. Sportsman's paradise is what they call it.
Yeah.
So
it's good. I don't need to be there.
I don't know. It's beautiful.
I'm not a water guy.
Not a water guy. You got North Louisiana where Duck Commander is. There's not that much water up there.
Yeah.
I mean, they think they're better than us down south, but hey, whatever.
That's pretty typical anywhere.
The Northerner said it. Let the record show that the natural-born Northerner said that,
That's
not
right.
the natural-born Southerner.
That's right.
Don't argue with me about Texas, though. I will come at you like a spider monkey.
Chip, I'm going to come at you like a spider monkey. I'm all jacked up on Dutch Country Made donuts and
Wawa coffee.
Is that the brand? I don't even remember.
Yeah, Country Made. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
We need a sponsorship, Wawa. Country Made, somebody. We'll put Wawa signs everywhere and coffee yeah, that would be awesome. It's Hoagie Fest, too, so don't forget to go get your hoagies.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Back on track here. I'll let you go ahead and take over the trucks.
Yeah, breaking news. Heim dominates.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, not breaking news.
Not breaking news.
He's just really dominating this year.
Right.
I mean, they're talking about it a little bit. Like, I forget, he's won, I forget the number now, a couple of races, but he had the opportunity or should have won like 6 or 8 of them so far. But weird stuff happened. It happens. But skill and car-wise, he's been in contention for like 8 wins.
Right. Yeah. He's pulling Cup Series-esque.
He's gonna upset someone's Xfinity or Cup year next year because he's coming up.
Yeah.
It's
well, hopefully he doesn't run into a hiccup like Gibbs did, because Gibbs was really good in Xfinity. Now, granted, I think a lot of it was stubbornness too and punting people.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
he's coming around.
Yeah, but he's not winning yet.
No.
Nowhere.
But they talk. I mean, you talk to anybody. They talk about how difficult Cup is. Like.
Yeah.
It's just so challenging.
It is.
And it's amazing that so many people win so many races in a year, like multiple win years, because it's just
HMS.
Yeah.
JGR.
It's very challenging from what they say. Like, it's just
right.
You could be off 1,000th, and you're in the back of the pack.
Right.
Like, it's just so competitive.
Well, what's wild is, and you've heard this, Corey LaJoy's talked about it, those lower teams, they find their number, their break-even number, like, okay, well, we got to finish 20th or better, and we're making money.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, I think. So.
But overall, I really liked the truck race this weekend. Limerock, never knew about that course before. I've only been into racing, like watching racing and learning about it for a couple of years, and didn't even know about that track. But we looked it up. We're about 4.5 hours away, and I would consider going up to watch it.
Well, they do a lot of like IMSA stuff there too, so that might be an option.
Yeah,
so you're not
was really cool.
Hamstrung by NASCAR.
So that was cool. It was the first ever national series at Limerock Park for 68-year-old course.
Yeah.
So it's an old track. They had a lot of like Paul Newman Straight, and there's a lot of like car history, and every like they don't really name their corners. They all have a name, or they don't number them. It's not turn 4, turn 5. They called them that just for reference, but they each had a name of something that had happened there. And you get that when you have history, like you can just start naming stuff. But it was kind of cool. It's kind of like it's like a hometown track. It seemed kind of neat. Like it's just kind of like a small little, no grandstands, all yards. Chairs and blankets to watch, and it looked like a lot of fun. It looked pretty cool.
Yeah. The naming convention reminds me of OG Top Gear. They had their track that they put their, what they call it, they put their star on the reasonably priced car, some like diesel Astra type thing or whatever. And Michael Gambon, who I can't remember what all he's been in. He was in Layer Cake. He's been in a whole bunch of other stuff, British actor. They called one corner, it's the only one named after somebody. It's Gambon Corner, because he took it so wide, he went in the grass and launched the car into the air so high. It was wild. And so they're like, oh, it's Gambon Corner now. Yeah. So it's that same kind of idea.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool whenever you hear like, oh yeah, this is turn 4. This is turn 4 on the track, but we actually call this this turn.
It's got some story to go with it.
It's like Long Pond Straight.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
Which will confuse the crap out of people. It actually confused somebody. They were dropping, when we were at Pocono, they were dropping something, I think, or they were pumping out. And he's like, yeah, we're going down Long Pond. And she's like, oh, you mean get out on the track and go down Long Pond Road? He's like, no, the straightaway right here is called Long Pond Straight. Okay. Yeah. So it's like, it's one of those things that if you don't know it and you hear about it, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Or it can confuse the crap out of you.
Yeah.
So
one way or the other.
Yeah.
But yeah, Heim dominated. He took the pole, 53-second lap. Led 99 of the 100 laps. Lane Riggs only took 1 lap on 96, and then he ran it deep and went back to 14th.
Yeah.
So Heim just dominated this race.
Right.
I mean, even the initial start, I forget what they were talking about. I think he had like a second and a half lead going into turn 1. Like,
yeah, that's nuts.
Starting in a pack, and he pulls away to like a second going into turn 1. So he definitely dominated, but overall the racing was pretty good. I mean, I like the trucks. I was telling you, before we were on air, and like it's an action-packed short race. Like you get usually a lot of like, sometimes there's some wrecks. I mean, there's definitely some inexperience with skill, but it's not I like it both ways. I like a good long endurance race, but I also like for this series that it's just hey, you get an hour and a half or so, 2 hours, and you need to go out and make it happen and move on. It's not some big 4-hour, 5-hour, 6-hour Coke 600 race. Like, it's like, go out, do your thing, you know what I mean, and show yourself. And
it's like you're going from ARCA, which is, and I'm doing this really weird analogy, and people are going to think I'm weird, but it's like you go to ARCA, and they're the non-secular, or I guess secular weddings where you have somebody. We did a wedding, it was a total of like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
That's your ARCA.
Yeah.
Then you have your somewhat go to church and getting married. That's like trucks.
Yeah.
And then you keep moving on, like Coke 600 is like full Catholic mass wedding.
Yeah. Like 3-hour ordeal.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I love the truck racing. I like seeing the young guys come up through.
Right.
I like seeing, I don't have a problem with Heim winning. I'm looking forward to him moving up, because I don't like seeing someone just dominate all the time. I don't think anybody does. I mean, it's cool. Like, he's doing something, good here. We were talking about Kyle Busch did something similar in trucks, and like, look at his stats for his career. Like, he's a good racer. Like, it's not like you don't belong to race, but I like just to see a more even field of younger guys that are just trying to figure it out. But really cool race. Limerock Park, definitely put on a good show, and I just like the hominess of the truck race there. It's just kind of cool. I really hope they go back. It's from the broadcast side, it looks like everything went really well. I don't know logistics side wise if they will return there, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty cool. It wasn't like a like Chicago coming up. It wasn't this big blown up event that like it. I don't know how many people were there, but it didn't look like it looked like a hometown race. It looked like people from the surrounding 3 hours came out to see it, and it wasn't this ginormous event where people flying in from England to come see this race. Like it was just a normal cool race. So I really liked it. Hope they go back. Yeah.
So our standings, these are our driver standings through 15 out of the 23 races that we're doing. Heim time is number 1. He's got 5 wins. He is 144 points above Chandler Smith in second. Lane Riggs is third. Hemrick is 4th. Caden Honeycutt is 5th. Enfinger 6th. Ankrum 7th. Majeski 8th. Garcia 9th. And Giovanni Ruggiero rounds out the top 10. Now, when you look at it, and this is wildly, I'm just doing it based on what I'm looking at here. When you're looking at playoff standings, there's only 3 spots, if I did this correctly, 3 spots available with no wins. So you have 7 people with wins.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we have, let's see, what is it? 1, 2... 2 of them out of the top 10 with Stuart Friesen in the 11th and Raja Karuth at 13th.
Yeah.
So it's going to get dicey.
Yeah.
Very dicey.
Yeah. It's been a good year for trucks.
Yeah. And it hasn't been super crazy on wrecks.
No. I mean, we've been talking about that for
a
a month or 2 now, just like how clean the racing is. Like,
right.
I didn't see a stat, but it wasn't that many cautions on the truck race. And even at a road course, like, it's a pretty narrow course. I think they're saying 30 foot wide at some spots and 40 at other. Like, it's not a huge width track. So passing's pretty limited, I guess. So maybe that's a downside to the larger cars being there, is like, it's not, if you're racing Indy cars and stuff, you're kind of like, you pass on the straightaway and then the corners are kind of sacred and you just don't, unless you got a clean pass. But with NASCAR, they get kind of rough and tough a little bit, in any of the divisions, that you kind of need some width to be able to get through the field sometimes. But I kind of said before we're on, it's like a big go-kart track. Like it's like a blown up version of something you'd expect to find at a vacation spot. It's like a bunch of right-handers, 1 left-hand turn they call it, and I don't know, it's cool. Got some hills. Got some, little pop-up hill that kind of gets you a little bit light. You can see the cars kind of get really light or off the tire a little bit. And they had one that kind of, where you're saying it reminded you of Sonoma, I guess. You drop down and to the right. Yep. Like those elevations are really cool. I think for a road course, that's something I like to see, is elevation change. Coda, the end of the straightaway, you get that huge 100-foot elevation into turn 1. Like, I like on a road course for it to be elevation.
Right.
I don't need that F1 style, Chicago flat race course. Like, I like elevation better.
So they had three cautions for 13 laps.
Yeah.
So you're figuring 1 caution for cause.
Yeah.
And they had 2 this is what we're talking about earlier, what you were mentioning, 2 lead changes, 2 among 2 drivers.
Yeah.
He won, so Heim won by a margin of victory of 1.381 seconds. Yeah, it's wild. It's very, very crazy to see that and see how it happens. They had 3 vehicles not finish the race. 1 electrical issue, 1 ignition issue, which I guess you could argue is electrical too, but they didn't label it that. And then Alex LeBay was finished dead last because he had a rear gear issue.
Yeah, some mechanical failures.
He only ran 34 laps.
Yeah, but and with that too, like the budgets for these teams, like if you're in the Cup, those cars might have went back to the garage to try to patch them up and get back out there for points for playoffs. Like the budgets, like they're not going to spend a ton of time trying to fix these cars during a race because the race is shorter. So like if you're gonna need your maximum off-track time to fix a car, do you have the crew to be able to fix it? Like, is it it's just not to the level of like Cup and Xfinity in terms of garage support. I don't think so. Some of that stuff might have been fixed if it was a Cup car. Like the ignition issue, or they might have worked on that stuff and tried to get back in the race. So that's pretty good considering 3 mechanical failures essentially on a road course for trucks.
Yeah.
There is a pretty good, I'll say, where you go to Chicago and you have the racetrack plus a wall, whereas this track you have a bunch of greenery. Like there's a ton of yard around.
Right.
And that helps keep cars together. You got guys aren't slamming the wall, which is, it's nice. They can save their car. They can get off the track and not be blasting their car into a concrete wall on a street edge. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I think for trucks and ARCA, it's a great place to go. From a viewing standpoint, I think it's great.
Right. So moving on, we went over to Atlanta Motor Speedway, Echo Park. Let's see if I can find this real quick. The Atlanta Xfinity. I can't remember who got the pole.
I didn't see any of this race.
So we watched some of this race, and then as I was mentioning to you before, I had to go back and watch a recap of it because of the weather. Yeah. The weather was ridiculous, and this is one of those things that I've harped on in past years, where it comes to why don't we look and see what historical weather is going to be. Now, granted, you're going to hit or miss, but like it's like we go out west when we could be going on the East Coast still. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit cooler, but there's not as much weather. And then going west whenever we have the weather on the East Coast, so we're not delayed so much.
Yeah.
So Sheldon Creed got the pole. I remember that now. It sucked because they started going out doing the second round of qualifying, lightning delay. They canceled it because of everything going on. And this is where I was talking last Saturday. I was like, this is what makes streaming so much better is you're not hamstrung by TV schedule, right? Where if you have the people willing to stay and you have the people there, delay it and delay the race more. I mean, it didn't hurt anything because we were already delayed.
They have so much more flexibility in terms of like making something work. Like, back in the day, it was always like, well, we could move it 2 hours, but we won't have the TV schedule, so let's just move the race till tomorrow.
Right.
Like it would always be like, what can TV do, and what can we do around that? Well, now with streaming, it's just like, what's the best solution? Let's just do that.
Yeah.
Like
hindsight being 2020, and this is CW too. And CW, they stream only the qualifying, like exclusive streaming, nothing on TV. And hindsight being 2020, they had a red flag delay at lap 36 for over an hour. So that qualifying wasn't going to take an hour extra long.
Yeah.
To push back Cup qualifying and everything.
Yeah.
They could have done it, in my opinion. But
I'm all about streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pickle Nick, as I like to call him, Pickle Nick, after Pickle Rick. That is from my father-in-law. He took the win in the 48 Big Machine. If you ask me, this is the second win for the Big Machine because Parker Kligerman's doesn't count after he got disqualified.
Yep.
And I think that might have been truck though, but like NASCAR screwed him out of a lot of things.
I think it was Xfinity.
Was it?
I think so.
I can't fully remember.
Yep. I think it was.
Moving on though, you had the whole time of race. I should have kept this up. Let's see if I can pull this up. It was 2 hours and 36 minutes.
That was with the delay.
I don't think that was with the delay.
I was gonna say
I don't think
that'd be hard to do an hour and a half.
Right. I'm seeing if I can find
probably not
the Truck Series information here, and I'll tell you what the length of that. 2 hours and 3 minutes for that race.
For the trucks.
For the trucks, and 2 hours and 36.
Yeah.
So you're almost getting into like not so much like that baseball time when the pitch clock came in, risking more people's injuries. I know that's a hot take, or it's a risky opinion to shave 10, 15 minutes off a race.
Yeah.
Compared to a 3 hours and 34 minutes for the cars.
Yeah.
Now, granted, that also includes a lot of the cautions
right.
we talk about with the Cup Series.
It's a big race. I mean, mileage-wise, it's a big difference.
Yeah, we're talking just see, how many laps was that? 163 laps versus 260 laps.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they went 163 laps, 251.02 miles. Echo Park Speedway, and it's Hampton, Georgia. We were just talking about that with Parksburg Walmart and stuff.
Yeah.
At least it's Parksburg mailing address, not Atlanta.
Yeah.
So, that Nick Sanchez won his first career victory in Xfinity Series. Prior to the start of the race, the following vehicles dropped to the rear. We don't really care about that too much, but 127, 91, and 53. They had 9 cautions for 58 laps. A couple wrecks here and there. Our go-to person, Josh Williams, finished dead last because he got caught up in a wreck. Accident.
A couple accidents there at Atlanta this weekend.
Oh my goodness.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. I think it's also my fault. Yeah, getting excited. Massive wrecks, backstretch, pile up. This is claimed major names. I saw this one and it sucked. I mean, because Sheldon Creed, this was one of those that they were trying to flip the stage. And so you had Creed and all these guys in the back, and they just got caught in it, and it sucked. But final restart, Jesse Love lost it to Sanchez and fended off Carson Quaffle in a tense 7-lap sprint to the finish. Quaffle won. Quaffle was trailing by 0.104. Sam Mayer 0.243.
Nice.
So it was good racing there.
Fun little fact about Sanchez is, I had Hunter and we were up at the end of turn 1, and golf cart pulls up. We were watching I guess Sanchez was running the trucks, and we were up there hanging out. All the kids were all on our bikes, and golf cart pulls up, and it's all stickered up, Ford, this and that. Like, I didn't know who he was, but he was in a polo, like well dressed. Tell he was somebody.
Yeah.
And he's, hey, you guys want some lug nuts for the kids? I was like, sure. He's like, these are off Sanchez's car. He's like, he's out there 13 or whatever he is in the truck race.
Yeah.
He was like, he was the truck driver for their the data trailer. So all of the car information, all of that, like communications, all that stuff. So he was the truck driver for that trailer for that team. And he was like, yeah, I'm part of the Sanchez team, but, anything Ford, we get to go to Victory Lane with them and everything like that. So, shout out to that guy for the lug nuts. I'm sure he was in Victory Lane for this because he kind of follows Sanchez around and does whatever he needs to do. But, yeah, it was kind of cool talking to him. So, fun little fact from Pocono. All you got to do is go riding your bikes around the track and you meet all sorts of people.
Right.
There's always people everywhere.
That might not have been Sanchez. Sanchez drives a Chevy in Xfinity.
Oh, does he? Well, he was in, it might have been, what was it in the trucks?
Nick Sanchez, NASCAR.
I think he was 13 at Pocono.
Come on.
I'm pretty sure...
Nick Sanchez.
Unless I'm remembering wrong.
That was 2024. Let me go over here. J-Ski, what was we thinking here? Do 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 do
I'm getting confused. Jake Garcia.
Okay.
That's who. I got my names mixed up.
Okay.
Not Sanchez, Garcia.
Okay.
Yep. 13 for the Ford. So he was at Pocono in the truck. I was thinking that's the same guy we were talking about. So he's pretty new to NASCAR too, though, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Man, Date of birth, 3/3/2005.
God.
Yep, I got my names mixed up. So Garcia. We have some lug nuts from Garcia's car.
Why'd you do that? That made me feel old now.
I'm so sorry.
Age
is just a number.
Made his midget racing debut in 2016. Craftsman Truck Series, he's raced 4 years.
Okay.
58 races, though. So off and on.
So, yeah, my bad. Got my names mixed up. Sanchez and Garcia.
You were throwing me off because I was like, wait, I remember.
This ain't lining up.
Yeah, I was like, Clearman was in the Chevys.
Yeah. Yep. There we go. We got that straightened out.
Yeah. So they had 12.
Clear, we got that figured out.
Yeah. Going back, we have 12 lead changes among 9 drivers in the Xfinity. So watching the replay of it, it looked like it was a wild race. It was interesting.
I like Atlanta.
Yeah, the reconfigure makes it more interesting. But I still hate it.
I don't remember it before, so
yeah,
I wasn't really following it at the time. Like, it's kind of since Atlanta's been reconfigured is when I started kind of really getting to watching it. I don't know. Something about Atlanta I like.
The only thing that kind of gets dull and boring is with the Cup, but this is like a lot of the mile and a halves with Cup Series.
Yeah,
you're running and you're not doing so much passing, or if you pass and you're getting passed back.
Yeah.
But the only thing at Atlanta is you're able to do it 2 wide.
Yeah.
3 wide. So you're just like
a little more exciting.
Moving on to the bull plop show that we call the Cup Series at Atlanta.
Can we just start brackets this week?
Over again? Yeah, that was ridiculous.
I wonder if anyone at all is going to have a bracket.
No, there were no perfect brackets. They came out and said there's 0 perfect brackets.
After race 1.
After race 1. Now, Denny Hamlin gave kudos to Ty Dillon.
Yeah.
By saying, I just beat your favorite driver. I'll give Denny Hamlin, he owned up to it. He's like, that was pretty funny. That was great. He's like, it's stupid how it happened, but that's great. Blaney is, if you see Hocevar get wrecked out because of a quote-unquote wheel hop, as Blaney was saying on Door Bumper Clear, that was on purpose.
Oh.
So Spire came out and talked some crap on their social media. See if I can find it. But then Blaney was talking about it. He's like, yeah, you didn't really beat me, so per se.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was.
I don't know. His future, I'm curious to see what happens over the next year or 2 with him.
Ryan Blaney reacts to Spire Motorsports Twitter. I don't want to whitelist you. I don't care. Let me see if I can find the article that I can actually read without, because I have ad blockers. So here we go. Read more on Yard Baker. Anyway, yeah. So there's been a lot of taken at that for what's going on and how it's been. So here we go. Spire Motorsports put a thing of, they superimposed Carson Hocevar's face on a guy wearing they did a poor job of it, wearing a suit and saying a trade offer. I receive a trip to round 2, you receive an L. And they posted that, and Blaney's like, yeah, that was stupid. I'm coming after you now.
Yeah.
Somebody, the way he said it too, that was interesting. But yeah, he's like, I still haven't gotten him back for him dumping me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just
his list is getting big.
His list is getting big. His crap list is getting real big, and it's getting deeper too. Which I don't know, for Spire wanting to be Hendrick Motorsport-esque.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. But yeah, I mean, 22 people got wrecked out in this.
Yeah.
And it was something to do with Denny Hamlin and was it
Priest?
Priest was up there too with that initial hiccup.
He was near the front of that.
Right.
Not really anybody's I don't remember. Was there any fault of anybody's, or was it just people getting a little aggressive and Hamlin spun up, right?
No, he spun down.
Okay, it was quick.
It went from Bell spun up. He was the first caution.
That's what I'm thinking.
Let's see if it has it in here.
The big wreck was just everyone was chilling, and the next thing you know, it was just white smoke of tire sliding sideways everywhere. It was just a ball of smoke sliding down the track.
So they had a red flag weather delay as well for 14 minutes, and then
that's not bad.
No,
for a red flag to only be 14 minutes. That's
if I'm reading this right, I could
quick.
be wrong. I could be wrong on that.
It could have just been a shower and they just had to blow it all.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Stage 1 conclusion. Incident backstretch. 160, 22, 20. Okay, so hold on. Let me back up here. All right, here we go. Precipitation red flag. You number 3, 12, 20, 23, and 16 were incidents. Turn 4. That was the first one. So it took out Dylan, Blaney, and everybody. That was lap 66, 58 to 68, that caution. So 10 laps on that one. Then the big one happened, 70 to 76. Stage 1 conclusion, they ended at number 1, 60, 22, 24, 99, 77, 65, 19, 01, 11, 51, 6, 4, 7, 2, 21, 41, 48, 8, 43, 78, and 3 yet again in an incident.
You better take a drink after that one.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it. That took out 22 drivers.
Yeah. The pack looked tiny after that.
Yeah.
It was what are we watching here? Where's the field at?
Right. Exactly.
It's when they split caution laps and they have the two groups. It looked like one of the groups.
Right.
It's okay, where's all the other cars?
Yeah, we're running duels.
Towing company was busy that night.
Yeah, tell me about it. 46 lead changes among 13 drivers. The significant, as I was telling you, lap 69, 22 cars, and then Logano led a race high 51 laps. Yeah, before being caught up in that melee and exiting. Now, this wreck with the 19, I overheard Denny talking about this. James Small was livid because they spent an hour working on their car to get it back out there. They get it back, or they were about to go out there, and then NASCAR comes to them and says, there's something that's broken on your car that you can't fix, safety-wise. You're not allowed out there. And it was just the lividness from James Small.
Yeah.
Because it's you allowed us to spend this much time working on this without telling us. What the heck?
Yeah.
So
communication.
And he said that NASCAR officials were all over the car and everything too. Yeah. So it's why not? Why can't you do that? That's weird.
If it's enough for them to find it in the garage that it's not safe, that should be pretty easy to find.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like you're getting the lasers out and figuring out that something's
right.
a couple thousandths off and something's bent. It's it obviously was fairly obvious.
Right. So and I don't know. A lot of this stuff, it frustrates me. And then the person who won it, I blame the 6 car. Grandpa should have won that freaking race.
Get your glasses checked.
And so I complained about the worst kind of race to put this bracket at, and then somebody was joking around. I was like, well, they did that, and then they don't have to pay the $1 million out.
Yeah.
And
make you seem excited about it, and it's very unachievable.
Yeah. Surprise.
It's kind of like any of these bigger tracks, one car gets messed up and 22 of them get taken out. Obviously it's a huge wreck. A lot of cars got taken out, of the race, not even just temporarily to fix stuff. But it's just, there's no bracket. You can't predict the future. That's
what Atlanta's turned into.
Yeah.
Is that when they reconfigured.
It's another Talladega.
So it went from being another Texas, Chicago to being a Talladega.
Yeah.
So on, just really small.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a huge sports bettor guy, bracket guy.
Right.
Final Four. I didn't really get into all that stuff anyway. So I don't really care that my bracket got busted. I think it's fun that they're doing it. But at the same time, I'm not really that into it to where I'm oh man, how are you supposed to do a perfect bracket? It's I don't really care. It was fun, but it's kind of disappointing that it's so hard to do in track one. And this was the last race of the series, like of the bracket. And you go, hey, everyone's coming into it. Anyone has a chance. Like, and then this happens. Okay, last race of the bracket. Like, the fizzle's gone now. Like, everyone's brackets are trashed. So it's like no one's going to care about it anymore.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's
and you'll have somebody
kind of a lose-lose. Like,
I'm gonna say it right now. The person that's gonna win this bracket is gonna be Chase Elliott.
Yeah.
Just because
he beat your favorite driver.
It's not even so much that. It's like Chase Elliott's out there freaking like the quote unquote favorite driver. The only reason he's the favorite driver is because of Daddy. Is what I see.
I just don't understand.
Daddy and Junior. Because Junior Napa Motorsports had some really cool marketing back in the day when he was running Xfinity.
Yeah.
And or nationwide back then.
Do they have a popular driver or is it just favorite?
Well, that's the popular driver.
I feel like they could separate them. Like you could walk the streets of LA and ask 100 people LA and go, who's a NASCAR guy you know? Yeah. You know, Elliott's going to be up there.
Right.
But I feel like they need to do a better poll of like people actually care about.
Right.
Like,
well, you'll see. It all depends on where you go too. Like, last night I was giving the guy at the hot dog eating contest at the Stormers 4th of July fan, whatever you want to call it. He had a Kyle Busch hat on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you got a Kyle Busch? And I'm like, is that a Kyle Busch hat? No, it wasn't Hunter. This one looked a lot cleaner than that one. Like, nothing against Hunter's hat. His is like, got the camo. This one's Lucas Oil, so it fit the red, white, and blue vibe.
Yep.
I'm like, is that a Kyle Busch hat? He's like, yeah, it is. I'm like, oh. He's like, well, who's your driver? Like, oh, it was Truex. I'm like, he's like, oh, okay, I can get along with that. And he had a legit reason. He was like, he followed when Busch went into the 18 and moved from the 5.
Yeah.
That was his driver from then on. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
It's not like, some of these other people.
Yeah. Rowdy.
But, yeah. So, if you heard me complaining about Grandpa not taking it off, and he deserves that Grandpa name because he's over there doing consumer cellular commercials now.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's his sponsor, but Chase Elliott won. He broke his how many was it? 44 race winless streak. So a year and a half or so. He broke that winless streak.
Yep.
This is ChatGPT saying spectacular last lap pass. No, he kind of got slingshotted because Bowman was around there and Buescher was nowhere to be seen. Because I thought Buescher had a chance, and then Keselowski comes out, and Keselowski waited too long to block and dropped down and block him. So he just slingshotted.
He's getting older. His reaction times are a little bit slower.
Yeah, right.
Typical grandpa stuff.
Yeah, grandpa. So I don't think Chase is that relevant. I think what we were talking about, the popular driver or whatever you want to call it, is because of his dad, Junior, and Hendrick.
Yeah,
and that's the only reason I can feel that Hendrick keeps him around.
Yeah,
is because of the whole
marketing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, his quote unquote road race prowess has gone out the window since we moved to the Gen 7 car.
Yeah. I could see he's going to be one of those that goes into early retirement from racing.
Yeah.
Like, instead of HMS going, all right, you're done.
Right.
Go find something else to run with. They're going to be like, okay, yeah, Chase is done. He's done racing,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
give another 5 or 8 years or something like that, and then just kind of fizzle him out into retirement and just kind of do a Dale Jr. and just kind of like, lots of career left, but just kind of.
Well, Junior had a legit reason retiring.
Yeah.
His was the concussion stuff.
Yeah.
And everything. So, but I mean, Chase. Oh, I broke my leg again skiing. 2 weeks before the.
I could just see a quiet dismissal from his racing career.
Yeah.
Based off 44 race winless streak, and he's supposed to be one of the. How are you the most popular? And you like. There's so many people above you in terms of like skill and race wins, but you're somehow still the popular driver. So I think when that wears off, he's gonna just diminish into I'm retiring. You know what I mean? Like,
he's arguably
he'll run the Chicago race every year, or he'll come back for a couple races a year and just kind of live his 30s out as
he's arguably, you could argue that he's the third best driver at HMS.
Yeah. Yeah.
Behind Larson and Byron.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Bowman in the back.
Bowman.
Bowman.
Bowman's got to be gone soon.
Yeah.
He is not pulling his own weight.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's wild.
I don't know if we made the news. Who's, I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Someone's moving.
Yes.
Someone's moving next year. Do you have it in the news?
Yep.
Okay, we'll wait.
Yep. Yeah, so that moves on. We're moving on to Chicago. I mean, again, it's 4th of July, so I'm going to take off my baseball 4th of July hat and put on my Memorial Day NASCAR hat.
There you go. Furniture Row 78.
It's a little weather beaten, sweat beaten on it.
That's good.
The white in the front.
That's what you see on top of the campers out there, you know?
Yeah.
Hat like that.
This was one that Rebecca got me. I really wanted the straight black Furniture Row where they had the Furniture Row down here.
Mm-hmm.
But she got me this one because she was like, oh, this. And sorry that I wasn't as excited whenever you gave it to me. But I do like it. I mean, it's Furniture Row. It's got special meaning. So,
East Coast native.
Yep. Jersey.
Dirty Jers.
Yeah, Dirty Jers. I did a wedding. And the church was right off Martin Sharks Jr. Way.
Okay.
And I don't remember. It wasn't Mayetta, which is what he calls his home.
Yeah.
It was like it was right off the beach.
Okay.
And then we had to drive to Philly for the reception.
Okay.
It was like a 3-hour drive.
Jeez.
Anyway.
Good times.
We're going to skip the first news. We'll cover that a little bit later.
Okay.
Cup. Tab Boyd is now the new spotter for Christopher Bell. This happened last week. The guy, Christopher Bell spotter, I don't remember his name. He said that Joe Gibbs said, hey, we're not renewing your contract. He's like, okay, well, then I'm leaving now.
Yeah.
And so they brought Tab in. I should text him and congratulate him.
Yeah.
And but only 2 drivers remain that have finished all races with no DNFs. That's Reddick and Elliott.
Wow.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And then I think this is what you were talking about here.
Yep, I forgot. I knew it was crucial, but I forgot who it was.
Yeah. So Trackhouse has decided to part ways with Daniel Suarez next year. They're mutually parting ways.
Interesting.
I mean, Suarez hasn't really been pulling his own weight.
No.
They have Zilich signed already, and he's doing a partnership with Junior Motorsports. But then,
where's Suarez going?
Who knows? I mean, I saw somebody saying maybe he'll go. Where was it? It was one of the. This was laughable because it won't happen to the 51.
Okay.
But that won't happen because I don't remember if we covered this last week or not. But Rick Ware is selling
the charter.
No, he's selling the company.
Oh.
He'll still be part of it somehow.
Yeah.
But one of the former founders of Spire is buying it.
Oh, wow.
And there's an agreement that Rick Ware still works there, and Cody Ware has a ride.
Wow. That's crazy.
So
that's quite. I mean, I was learning a little bit about Rick Ware's organization a month or so ago because LaJoy was talking about like all of the motorsports that they're into. I mean, they're into almost everything in some fashion.
He had him on the podcast like 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, but that's quite the organization. I mean, they're into, I would say, at least 5 to 8 motorsports.
Right.
You know, in a professional level. Like I know they're into motocross. I know flat track.
Right.
They have teams in like all these divisions. Like it's just like crazy.
Which that surprised me because you sit there and you think about it like, they're just a lower level NASCAR team.
Right.
And it's like, this is probably low on their totem pole.
Yeah.
It's everything else is above it.
They have a budget and they probably spend maybe similar to the same in each of their divisions, and just like where they get the money that gets you into a lower class cup car is where you can be top rank in another type of field. Like, it's just the way it is. Just NASCAR is expensive. Like
it is very
the parts and the haulers and the crews and like it's just a very big investment.
Right.
But yeah, that's interesting. Suarez, I don't know. I'm not surprised, honestly, when I heard the news. I was like, yeah, I'm not really surprised. Being a race car driver's a pretty hostile job. Like, you just don't know what tomorrow's got. Like, if you're performing, you might even move if you're performing because you might be going to a different team altogether. It's like to stay somewhere for a long time is like unheard of in racing because it's like you're either doing well and you're moving to a better team or you're not doing well and you're getting dropped and put somewhere else. Like,
So rumor had it that the reason that that they decided to do this, and I don't see this happening since Silich is under contract. Jimmy Johnson's still pushing for that Rick Ware charter because he wants to bring somebody in and start a third team. But also now Rick Ware is talking about, the guy who's buying it's talking about starting a third team.
Yeah.
It's like, what's going to happen here?
Yeah. A lot of back office meetings going on.
Very much so. Stuff we're not privy to.
Yeah. We find out after.
Yeah.
That's crazy. We'll be curious to see what happens with Suarez.
Yeah, very much so. Let's see. NASCAR drivers competing in the American Cornhole League, Cornhole for a Cause. That's coming up. It's our entry list for Chicago, which there's that other part here we'll talk about. I'm trying to look through it real quick to see. There was we do have a couple. Connor Day, I think is who it is. No. There's a guy coming in from he was supercars. He was actually, it was interesting. He was talking about the differences between the supercar and the Cup Series car and the similarities. Like, there's somewhat of similarities, but also he mentioned, I think he's running for 2311. So, anyway, he was saying that, hey, we have doors, we have more buttons on the wheels, which we all have known that the car is not, or NASCAR is very low tech.
Yeah.
When it comes to everything.
Yeah.
I mean, we just got fuel injection a couple of years, it might be longer than that, 5 years ago or so, 6 years ago. So it's one of those things that it was interesting to hear the differences in the way that they make their downforce and so on. So you do have, looking at here, Catherine Legg's running a 78, so hopefully she doesn't cause any more wrecks. She has a history of doing it. Josh Balicki's running the 66. Bowman, Reddick, Jones, John Hunter. Kind of going backwards in this list here. Austin Hill, Big Country running the 33. Will Brown, that's who it is. Will Brown, he's running the 13. He will be. He's from Australia.
Okay.
Or the supercar racing, I should say.
Yeah.
So those are your guys coming in to the.
Some SVG's boys.
So he's going to have some kind of a competition there. Chicago street course. It's one of those love it, hate it.
I'm not a big fan.
I'm not that big of a fan of it either.
I don't really like any street course. I would go to one locally. Like if Philly had one, I'd probably go just to see it.
Right.
But to watch on TV, it's so narrow and no one wants to push hard because you can't get off the track or else you're slamming into a wall.
Right.
I understand it, but I don't know. I just don't see NASCAR having a home there. I just don't. You get F1 or Indy. I don't even know the difference honestly between them two. It's just they're the same to me. The open wheel car, it's just they race road courses all the time.
F1 spends a ton more money. They have carte blanche on their cars. They cannot refuel on their pit stops, and the big one is the international aspect to it.
Yeah.
IndyCar, you can refuel. They have a set limit. Certain type of engines, so on. It's more NASCAR-esque-ish,
right? Yeah.
So
I don't know. I'm just not an open wheel guy.
The one street course that I saw, which was pretty cool, was IndyCar doing Nashville.
Okay.
Because they were on the bridge.
Yeah.
They went off the bridge, looped around, and went back on the bridge, and that's the only thing I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah. It's neat, but I don't need to go there every year.
No.
It's neat to see and do. Go around and try these different cities out and do different things and that's cool. Kind of see some local history. It's kind of I don't know. It's a whole package, but just going back and forth between Chicago year after year. It's just okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not really. I don't know. It's not that interesting to me, but I'm not the whole market that they're looking to get to. You know what I mean? There's a lot of market share that they're finding with doing these races. So every race isn't for everybody, you know?
And that's why they, who was it that was talking about it? I just went blank on it. Oh, that's why they were at the Coliseum. That's where I was going with it.
Yeah.
Is to try to get that going.
Right.
I don't know. I wasn't a fan of that.
Yeah.
I do want to see.
I would way rather have a Coda over a Chicago.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's just way better.
Well, Chicago's too boxy if you look at me. It's like a crisscross type thing.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to keep it confined within the park to an extent.
Well, and it's like it's kind of like the TV schedule versus streaming. Like, the city has so much input on, okay, these are the streets we can close, these are the ones we can't close, this is what we can do, this is what the infrastructure looks like. You're so limited by what they'll give you.
Right.
Whereas when you have your own race course like Coda, you just, okay, what are we making our course? Cool.
Right.
You want a 100-foot elevation? Great. Like, yeah, it's not, Coda's not a street course. It's a road course, but, like, Watkins Glen is not that exciting to me. Like, yeah, there's history there, and it's cool for what it is, but I don't really have that much interest in going there. You can't see much of the race.
Right.
TV's so good now.
Well, we talked about this last week. I mean, if you want to do a street course, do it confined. Yeah. Do it at the Philly Sports Complex. Do it like they did, IndyCar did in Houston. Do it. You have a huge parking lot. You have roads within that parking lot system. You're not shutting down street roads.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah. It's the novelty of, like, hey, can we pull this off? Can we shut down roads just to make a race happen? I think it's like the draw of, like, look what we can do. We can work with the city and make it work.
But it sucks because
look at who race in Philly right now. It'd be pretty trashy.
No pun intended. But look at look who won the race last week. That's where I was going. Last year, excuse me. He won it due to light because they have no lights.
Yeah.
Bowman. And he's been irrelevant since.
Yeah.
So I think he won 2 races last year.
Yeah.
The 500 and they were giving it to him and they gave it to Byron.
Yeah.
So I mean, seriously.
I don't know. It's there's a market somewhere, but it's not for me. I'm not interested.
No, I think it's like you said. It's got that novelty, but it wears off really quick, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Total slight change in news as well. It's not on here. Ryan Blaney and his wife Gianna are pregnant.
Oh.
Well, they're not both pregnant, but
Philly native.
Yeah, is she?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't even remember that. I'm still stuck on the fact. No. That's Byron that was dating Blaney's sister. That's
okay.
What it was.
Yeah. Now Gianna, what's her name?
Gianna.
Yeah, she's from Philly. I heard him talking about, visiting family out this way and stuff like that.
Gianna.
Because he's talking about glizzies, and it's the first time he heard that. Hot dogs.
She was a Hooters girl.
Oh, really? At like a restaurant or like a marketing like.
All right, people.com. Who is NASCAR driver Ryan Blaney's wife? Lifelong teammate. Blah blah blah. John. First met in 2018 while they were both in Vegas for separate events. They began dating in 2020, got engaged in 23. 3 years, absolute gem. During the appearance on Today, a year later, planning. She grew up in Pennsylvania and Florida.
Okay.
She grew up in Philly, moving to South Florida for her senior year of high school.
Okay.
Went to West Palm Beach.
So, so she's pretty much from Philly then.
Yeah. She won Miss Hooters International 2001. Wow. 2021.
I was like, 2001? Holy smokes. How old is she?
In August 2021, Gianna was crowned Miss Hooters International, wrote on Instagram that she had been chosen to be the new face of the company. I have never felt so much love, happiness, blah, 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 blah. So they started dating in July of 2020. So she was a Hooters girl.
That's interesting. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Philly.
Yeah. Philly.
Because he talked about being out this way. I don't know, Philly's kind of a, you take ties to it. You talk to someone in Australia and we're from Philly. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah.
It's always like, okay, where actually are you from? I don't know what parts of the area she's from, but yeah, I've heard him talk about how she's from Philadelphia. So
well, that's a good example of that. at Wise.
Perspective.
Yeah, to give you a good one. Like Philly, that's a good one. We talk about Philly. They're like, oh, where are you in Philly? Because this is Philly Metro here. I'm on the edge of Philly Metro where I live.
Yeah.
So down in Texas, somebody goes, I saw the woman pull out. This was at Wise. She was buying beer. Pulls out her ID. I'm like, oh, where are you from? I see you got the Texas ID. Oh, I'm from East Texas. Yeah, where are you from? I'm from, what'd she say? She kept narrowing it down. Like, she's like, oh, I'm from Texas. Okay. Where are you from? We're in Houston. Oh, where are you from? East Texas. Where are you from? I'm from, and then she named the town, the little bitty town that she named. I'm like, yeah, I know where that is. Yeah. I got pulled over doing like 36 and a 35 and got a ticket at 2 o'clock in the morning there. So, and she's like, oh, I'm like, I lived in this town in Louisiana. I'm from Houston. You know? Well, it's like, I don't tell people, I'm like, I'm from Houston. I don't say, or I was born in Houston.
You gotta know who you're talking to.
It's like, and then they'll start talking like, or people is like, yeah, exactly. Oh, I work in Houston. I'm like, where? North Houston. Where? You like, I understand you want to be general, but at the same time, like you said, it depends on who you talk to.
People aren't good at reading. Like, I feel like I'm pretty good at reading someone's like geographical knowledge, and like, I don't know, you just read them and kind of like, you kind of know how to answer their question based off of like how it's asked and what they're asking. Like I said, if you're talking to someone from Australia, I'm from outside of Philly.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but if you're talking to someone local, be like, yeah, we're between Lancaster and Philly. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, that's the same thing, because I've told people like, oh, I live in Gap. For people I work with, I'm like, and this is Harrisburg, like, oh, Wind Gap. I'm like, no. Fort Indian Town Gap. No.
Different Gap. Gap.
Where's that? I'm like, it's outside of Lancaster going towards Philly. You pass it. And then they'll be like, oh, yeah, we turn there when we go to the beach.
Yeah. But if you ever talk to a truck driver, they know where Gap is. It's just funny. Like, you got to know your demographic. You got to know who you're talking to.
Exactly.
Everyone knows different stuff. But
exactly.
Yeah.
That's like, I was talking to someone like, oh, yeah, I went to... Went to high. He's like, just outside of Westchester. Oh, okay. Where'd you go to high school? I'm like, Henderson. Oh, yeah. I know where that is.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Yeah. But yeah, she's got her, Gianna, she's got her pictures busted on Instagram. Miss Hooters stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
Surprised she didn't get with Chase Elliott.
Popular driver.
With the being the Hooters.
Was he with Hooters at all?
He ran Hooters. I actually have the Hooters nighttime chase because I thought that was pretty cool. That Hooters orange on like the matte black.
Okay.
But Hooters, Hendrick Motorsports is suing. I guess there still are Hooters because Hooters backed out of their sponsorship agreements because of financial issues.
I see. Well, a little fun fact: Josh Williams' truck driver ran the Hooters truck for a couple of years.
Yeah,
I was talking to him for a little while there at the Xfinity race.
I remember hearing him say that. Who would have been?
Did Hooters sponsor like multiple divisions? Like, were they in Xfinity and all that as well?
I don't think so. Who was Hooters?
It's kind of funny. He said the progression of like your NASCAR truck drivers. Like, you get in the bottom, and like it's a small group. He said you work your way up to Cup, and then you get worn out, and then you work your way back down, and then you retire. So it's kind of funny. Like, you go up, and then you come back down, and you pass different truck drivers on the way.
I'm seeing if I can find more information on this. Because I knew so Hooters sponsored Alan Quickie.
Okay.
That was the big one. Alan Quickie was sponsored by Hooters, and then Elliott. And he seems kind of young. That guy seemed somewhat young to be driving trucks back in 92.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah. I don't know. I could see it.
He's probably, what, in his 60s, you think?
Yeah. So, back then, you'd be in your 20s.
Yeah, that's true.
Early 20s, running. A lot of guys did it right out of high school.
Let's see what it says here.
And you can run... even the rules now, I think 21.
So it would have had to been Quickie.
Yeah.
Unless he's talking.
And it wasn't even him who told us. It was the other team manager guy.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, he used to run the Hooters car for a couple years.
Here's some other drivers. Those are the big name ones. Because Quickie passed. He won in '92, I guess, and he passed away in, I don't remember, early '90s, '93. Other drivers have been sponsored by Hooters: Rick Mast, Jeff Bodine, and that can't.
I want to say, I almost remember him saying something about Bodine.
And Greg Biffle. They put whoever
The Biff.
Whoever wrote this totally boogered it up and put Craig Biffle.
I think the sleeves need to come off this shirt.
I don't know. That's too nice of a shirt to me.
It is too nice. I'll give it a couple years.
Yeah, right. I found a America shirt I wanted to get. It had squatchies all over it.
Nice.
And then there was one with baseballs. And then I was joking around with Rebecca. I was like, "There's one here. It's got a whole bunch of. It's like boobs. It's like it looks red, white, and blue. From, like when you get closer, like I wouldn't wear that one, but it's like the big top, like
Man.
What's her name?
Who, Dolly Parton?
No. Baywatch.
Oh, is that Pamela?
Yeah, Pam Anderson before she got
never seen that
reduced.
show.
I've never watched Baywatch. I just remember
I know about it.
Everybody talks about the opening scene where the Hoff and
man, where's that guy been? I haven't heard a thing about him in like 10 years.
I don't know. Funny thing you talk about with the Biff and Freedom Factory.
Yeah.
So they were doing a burnout contest, I guess, last week or this middle of the week. Well, dude's driving around his Camaro doing burnout, so he hit the wall.
Oh, jeez.
He goes over to Cletus, who's calling everything. He's like, "Yeah, my car's calling the cops. OnStar called."
Oh, jeez.
He didn't turn off and disconnect OnStar. This thing's doesn't have a hood, doesn't really have doors on it. And OnStar called, and he's like, "Oh, it's reported there's been in an accident. Everything okay?" He goes in, he's like, "Everything's." He's like, nothing's okay. The car's wrecked, but it's okay because we're over here at the Freedom Factory track, and we don't need emergency services."
Oh, jeez. Another storyline.
Yeah, and then he goes and like the guy's like, "Okay, well," he's like, yeah, thank you for calling. Have a great one. Do it for Dale."
Oh, jeez.
And just walks out.
You imagine answering that phone call for OnStar? Like, what did I just answer?
Yeah, right.
Who am I talking to right now?
Very much so. All right, so moving on to everybody's favorite segment of it. Let's go into we're looking for a sponsor for this segment, so if anybody wants to sponsor us.
That's right. It's got a good jam.
We're just looking for coffee or drinks or something. I mean, we're not looking for thousands of dollars.
Sticker sponsor,
maybe some NASCAR tickets here and there. I don't know. Anyway, it is our paint scheme pick.
Yeah.
And
a little more narrow this week for me.
Yeah.
I mean, very narrow. I feel like there was maybe the spicy pickles. Who was running that one? Gilliland has the spicy. Was it Sonic as well, right? Sonic and Grillo?
Sonic and Grillo was Ty Gibbs.
That was last week. Yeah. I forget exactly. This one has flames. It almost has like a Exalta flames-esque going on, but it's for the spicy pickle.
Style.
Yeah. So that one was kind of an honorable, I guess, but I don't know. For me, it was pretty clear, especially after seeing the live photo from above. The 45 Tyler Reddick Jordan branded Toyota.
I like that one.
Insane. If you can picture it best, it looks like a broken iPhone screen.
Yeah, with
glass.
tape and everything.
And there's tape like randomly around the wheel wells, and like the top view is really cool, and that's a really out of the box cool looking car.
Yeah.
Jordan's branded stuff is just insane. Like it's just their marketing. They're I don't know what you call that. They're the design department is really, they do a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, I have to agree with the car.
So that's my pick of the week. I didn't really have anything else. I guess shout out for the number 5 not running a HendrickCars.com. That's pretty nice to see. But just thank you for not doing that same paint scheme over and over again this weekend. So
yeah, I'm trying to find. I saw something funny, and I don't see it if it was true or not. But somebody was joking around that Angel Reese is going to be on the hood of.
Who's Angel Reese?
She's controversy with. I think it's a joke. I think it's a big joke looking at the car. It is a joke. She's the one that thinks she's hot stuff in WNBA.
Okay.
And she battles back and forth with Caitlin Clark.
Okay.
And she has a lot of rebounds. She holds the record for rebounds or something like that. But it's also because she sucks.
Yeah.
At layups. WNBA sucks at everything, from what I've seen.
They're expanding. Did you hear?
Yeah, they're coming to Philly.
Going to Philly.
A lot of people are kind of upset that they're not going back to Houston. So Houston won the first 4 cups or championships in WNBA back in the 90s.
Okay.
And people are like, oh, we want the Houston Comets back. But anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much that.
Definitely check out the Reddit car, though. And as always, check out the live photos, like the actual photos of the car. It's really, really cool.
Yep. So that is pretty much.
Might have to look up the diecast on that one.
Yeah, Circle B diecast.
It'd be really cool if that one got Victory Lane with all the confetti and.
Yeah,
those are cool little diecasts, the little Victory Lane ones.
Yeah, I have I gotta say it. I have a race-used Martin Truex Jr. diecast still in its package, hanging in our bathroom near the toilet.
Nice.
There's a nail that somebody had something hanging there, and I was like, I had it above my vanity.
Yeah.
And Rebecca's like, we need to clean this stuff up. So I went and hung it right
Took
there
it
on the
other side
nail.
of the room. Did a 180 and hung it on the wall.
Yeah, pretty much.
I know the feeling. I do that.
She's like, you seriously just didn't do that, did you?
Seriously did. I can hear her saying that too.
Yeah. Oh boy. All right, cup odds. If you have a gambling problem, don't forget to call 1-800-GAMBLER. And we do not condone betting, but if you have to, there is no have. If you want to for fun, then go ahead. If Vinny's on about to break your kneecaps, here's some people that you might be able to get some money on.
Cousin Vinny,
or Pasquale. SVG is a favorite,
no doubt.
Plus 185, plus 210. Clear favorite, reflecting a street course of expertise and recent dominant run in Mexico. And before we get into the other ones, I just want to see something here. The weather in Chicago. Well, okay, that's loading. Seabell is second, plus 725, plus 750. And then we have Larson.
Mm-hmm.
He is plus 650, plus 900.
Yep. All 3 of those are very high contenders.
Mm-hmm.
I still think you can't forget about, and they're on here too. I was going to say, I'm a big just McDowell fan.
Yeah.
I feel like if he was in a better car, he would have more wins.
Mm-hmm.
He does really well for, I'd say, his car and where it should end up.
Right.
He's got some skill. I mean, he's definitely getting older, getting more into that. I think he's not old, but everyone's so young anymore. By the time you're in your mid-30s, you're already old. Right,
yeah, exactly.
These guys are coming in 18 years old, like Zilich, and just
blowing
dominating.
Away. Yeah.
18 to 25, and these guys are so fast and they're so good. But you got your strong contenders: Ty Gibbs, plus 1200, Tyler Reddick plus 1200, and Chase Elliott plus 11 to 1400.
Narrowing, but still an underdog.
I don't think Elliott. I think the only reason he's on that list is because of his win in Atlanta.
I think you're right.
He's just popular in news right now, but I think Reddick's a good choice. Gibbs is a good choice. Who else was I thinking? There was someone else I was thinking. Is Allmendinger?
Allmendinger's a long shot.
Okay. See, I feel like these are all based off the news. Have you been in the news or not?
Right. So ESPN Bet has Allmendinger at a plus 2,500.
Yeah.
But it also depends on equipment too.
Yeah.
I
think Allmendinger has a chance at winning.
Yeah, I got a feeling Kaulig will spend more money on Xfinity than they will on Cup.
Yeah.
So when you think about that, I could see that. Bowman, Byron, they're long shots, and then other dark horses and so on. Here's your McDowell. They didn't even give an odd to him.
Yeah. Haley got a podium last year. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know he ever finished a race. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, he did win a race because of rain at Daytona.
That wasn't nice. But yeah, I think any of those 5 to 8 guys have a very good chance of winning. I really do. These courses are just, it's almost luck. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Can you make it to the end?
Right. And is it the rain?
Yeah.
Which there's been rain the past 2 races. And guess what?
Get a mystery caution near the end.
Yeah. There's a 51% chance of rain on Sunday, too.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Mostly cloudy in the morning, then periods of showers late in the day. High at 81, winds northwest 10 to 15 miles an hour. Chance of rain, 50%. So, yeah. And sunset's at 8:28, so they'll probably run until 8 o'clock, unless they want to shorten the race.
Yeah.
Or that's when they'll shorten the race, too. So, weekend schedule tomorrow, Saturday, July 5th. We have practice and qualifying for Xfinity on the CW app. NASCAR comes out on True TV at 1 o'clock for practice, 2 o'clock for qualifying, and then the race is 4:30 p.m. On the CW. And then Sunday at 2 o'clock, we have the race. Cup Series racing. I still like the fact that they have the in-car cameras on Max.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying that, to the effect that if they do this next year, I'm not going to do the subscription add-on for the NASCAR app.
Right.
It's not warranted. I don't care about the ads. I do it because of hearing stuff. But if I could pull everything up on the Max, and that's already included in my subscription, so why not?
Yeah. No, it's nice if you have it. I miss the cameras. I don't have Max, so I miss having the cameras. Mm-hmm. But it's one of those things. I don't watch a ton of them racing live anyway.
Right.
So...
But you can go back and watch it recorded.
Yeah, I mean, on the Max, you can. So I'm saying the add-on for NASCAR app.
Oh, yeah.
It's a live-only thing.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I could go... I know I sound like a Grandpa Kozlowski, old fart here. I wish I could take the MRN, PRN, and listen to that. No video. I wish I could just listen to the broadcast after the fact. Maybe it's recorded somewhere that you can get it. I haven't been able to find it yet. Maybe some, third-party website has it where you can go back and listen to the broadcast. Not TV broadcast, but the racing network broadcast. I enjoy that much more than I enjoy TV broadcast typically. So I wish I could go back and just listen. You know what I mean? Like when I'm driving, like a podcast, just listen to the race while I'm driving. I enjoy it. I just picture myself sitting in a lazy boy next to a radio and listening to the race.
Well, MRN does have a Classic Races podcast.
Okay.
But these are like 1983 Atlanta
classics.
Journal
I don't know. You think they're recorded somewhere.
So the whole crazy thing about that too is just going back to classics. This is going back. What's cool? We got to go back and look. It'd be cool if we had a connection to it. So the old Nazareth Speedway, they actually have the truck race or the Busch Series race from Nazareth on there that you can watch. And that was pretty cool. I think it was Busch. I don't think it was Truck. No, Trucks was too old or too new. So, that's one of those things that is...
and all those times were Eastern, by the way.
Yes.
It says it down the bottom.
If you didn't notice.
Where's the line? Chicago West? A little bit west of Chicago?
Central.
Yeah, so downtown is actually Central.
Central time. That's all Central time zone.
Okay, because they have the asterisk down here saying all times Eastern.
Yeah, everybody does it Eastern. Back in the day when we were younger, we were it was Eastern and Central. It was never
Pacific or
Pacific. Yeah. So I know time zone.
So that'll actually be a 1 o'clock race Sunday in local.
So it runs stupid.
So they have 7 hours essentially to get the race done.
Right. So we're looking, it loops around Indiana. So Chicago's close to that time zone switch. Indiana comes under Indiana through part of Kentucky, through part of Tennessee, and then down the Alabama, Georgia time zone or state line, and then part of Florida.
Yeah.
Is your time zone.
It is super weird. That Eastern Central time zone line is wild if you want to look at it. It's like all over the place.
Especially in Chattanooga.
Yeah.
When you got to go through that. And then you still kick cell towers from like Tennessee, Eastern Tennessee.
Yeah.
So you're reading Eastern Tennessee times on your phone still, or your Eastern time zones on your phone, and then you're moving on.
Yeah.
You're driving in Central, like you could be, because Georgia's so tiny. Georgia's like 5 miles.
Yeah.
So you're already in Alabama, and you still have Eastern time zone because it won't change over yet.
Yeah. Well, so like Bristol's a split city.
Bristol's a split city. There's a couple other split cities down. Tennessee, Georgia. There's one where it's dry in the Georgia side, but wet in Tennessee, and it's wild.
It is crazy.
So,
but Chicago this weekend.
Chicago
street race. If you're into that, tune in.
Yep.
Gave you the times,
everything, and we'll see you guys next week.
See you next week.